Gold. Just the sound of that word could make a man leave his wife, his children, his whole life behind. In the summer of 1897, word came down from the Yukon that men were pulling fortunes out of the ground with their bare hands. A ton of gold, they said. Enough to make a beggar into a king before the snow melted twice. I was one of them. A nobody with a pick and a dream, standing on the docks in Seattle, watching steamships loaded down with more prospectors than the hulls could rightly hold. We didn't know what we were walking into. None of us did. The ships dumped us out at two miserable little towns carved out of the mud, Skagway and Daya, Alaska. Boom towns built overnight out of canvas and greed. Con men, gamblers, and outfitters lined every street, more than happy to sell a man his own funeral if he'd pay for it. And behind those towns rose the mountains. The only way to the goldfields of the Klondike was through them. They called it the Dead Horse Trail. 32 miles of ice, granite, and mud so deep it swallowed a man's boot whole. We drove our pack horses past exhaustion, past starvation, over rocks that cut through hoof and bone alike. 3,000 animals died on that trail. Their bodies became the very road we walked on. I still hear them some nights. Or you could take the other way, the Chilkoot Pass, a wall of ice rising near 3,500 feet straight up. The Mounties wouldn't let a man cross into Canada without a ton of supplies on his back, so we climbed it, again and again and again. 40 times up those golden stairs to haul one man's outfit over the summit. Some froze to the ropes, some just turned around and went home broken. I did not turn around. And then at last the goldfields, Bonanza Creek, El Dorado. I panned that icy water until my hands went blue, and I did not care because there it was, gleaming up at me from the black sand. Gold, real gold. I dreamed right there on my knees in the freezing creek of the house I'd build, the debts I'd pay, the life I'd finally earn after everything that trail had taken from me. But dreams don't file paperwork. By the time most of us reached the creeks, every rich claim for 30 miles had already been staked by men who got there first, men who never touched that trail at all. The companies came next with their lawyers and their surveyors, buying up ground for pennies, squeezing out anyone without deep enough pockets. I held a claim once. I want you to know that. I held it in my 2 frozen hands. Then the paperwork came, a dispute. They called it a technicality. And just like that, the ground I nearly died crossing a continent for belonged to someone else. Some man in a warm office who had never once felt his own blood freeze in his boots. All that walking, all those horses, all those men in the ice, for nothing. They still tell the story like it's about gold. It was never about gold. It was about what they can take from you even after you've given them everything.